You're listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. From our studios come special guests and netball commentary, exclusively on YouTube.
Good afternoon, listeners, and welcome again to the 3 Feet Radio Show. Joining me in the studio is my co-host, Luke Herbert. G'day, Luke. How you going?
Oh, I'm doing very well, thank you. And how are you doing today, Ben?
Yeah, very well, thank you. And I must say, not long to go until we get to that ANZ Championship Grand Final.
No, I might as well put it out there. I think it's going to be Vixens versus the Magic. But we'll come back to the Grand Final a bit later, won't we, Ben? Or perhaps we will, and introduce our guest for today.
We will. Joining us today is West Coast Fever and Australian Diamonds goal shooter in Caitlin Bassett. G'day, Caitlin. How are you today?
I'm good, thanks.
Excellent. Just to get the ball rolling here, just reflecting on the Fever's season, do you feel it was an inability to win games on the road that was a factor in the Fever once again not making the finals?
Yeah, I think it was mainly just our inability to win against, the Australian side. We performed pretty well against the Kiwis, but, struggled against our Aussie counterparts. And, for us to travel, it's just part of living in the West and you've got to get used to it. So, we definitely need to pick up our game and win a few more on the road, but can't ever use it as an excuse coming from WA.
And just while we're sort of speaking of the regular season, and as I watched it unfold, and I commented to Ben off air, and I commented to a few other people as well, and with due respect to the teams that are remaining in the finals, there didn't appear to be a single clear-cut sort of outright team that was the best this season. Would you agree with any of those sentiments?
Yeah, definitely. I think, obviously Vixens have had a really strong season and they've got a lot of wins on the board, but, they did falter at times. And I suppose that's the great thing about our competition is that you never know week to week who's going to win or lose. It's really hard to do the tip-ins for this competition. And that's what makes it more exciting, I guess, for the fans out there. And it makes it really tough for us as players.
Caitlin, just keep going here with, obviously we're in finals mode with the ANZ Championship, of course. Who's your tip to win the premiership and why?
It's a tough one. I think it'll be Vixens. I think they've had a really strong season, and they're really strong across the board. Their young players that have come in, have been fantastic and they've been really supported by the experienced players out there like, Maddie Brown and Jiva Mentor and Bianca Chatfield. So, I think they deserve to win, after the consistency they've shown. And, obviously if it comes down to them and the Kiwi side, I'm going to go for the Australian team every day.
Just switching back to when you were a kid, since you were referring to younger players, could you tell us about your earliest memories of playing at the Southern Districts Netball Association in Perth and which club you played for?
Yeah, so I was a little bit of a late bloomer. I started playing when I was 11 years old and played for Southern Districts. My team there was called the Illawarra Sparks, and I started out down the defence end, funnily enough. I played a lot of goal defence and goalkeeper, but it wasn't until I was a little bit older that I switched to the shooting end. So memories for me was always, really fond. We had a really strong team and we always made the finals and had a few grand final wins in there. But, my first game of netball, one of the girls in my team pushed me over at training, so I couldn't even play the first game because I had my wrist in a cast. So that was a little bit disappointing for me.
And just sort of staying on that young sort of thing, who is it in the Fever, like younger players, Caitlin, that you would suggest for fans to look out for next year?
We've got a couple of youngies that are up and coming at the moment. I think down the defence end, Courtney Bruce is a bit of a gun, and she's not unknown. She's been playing Aussie representative teams and been in the Aussie 21 side the last couple of years. So, the more that she develops and learns off the older players in our team, the better that she'll get. She's got a really good knack of reading the play and she's super quick onto the ball as well. So she's going to be fantastic for us. And in the attacking end, little Ingrid Collier, our zippy wing attack, I absolutely love playing with her. I think she's fantastic. She's got a great attitude. She's always got a smile on her face, and I think, she keeps developing the way she's going. She's going to be a massive, part of our team in the future.
Just while we were speaking of developing, you appear to be developing your studies at university as you are looking into getting into broadcast and journalism. Can you see yourself being involved in netball commentary once you're retired as a player?
I'm not sure about netball commentary as such. I love all types of sports. I'm a little bit of an AFL nut as well. Obviously, being from Perth, we've got two teams over here that I follow pretty closely. But yeah, I think just finishing my degree is a bit of a challenge for me. It's a bit of a struggle with netball. So I'm plugging along with, one unit a semester at the moment, and I think I'm going to have to defer next semester thanks to Com Games. So, just getting the piece of paper with my name on it is my goal at the moment. I haven't thought too much about, what to do, what to actually have it.
Although I am pretty sure, Caitlin, I did see you a couple of years ago doing some sideline reporting on an ANZ game for 10 when they had the rights, I'm pretty sure.
Yeah, I got to go over to Melbourne and do some sideline commentary for the Melbourne and Adelaide game, and that was really exciting. I enjoyed it, and obviously would love the opportunity to do some more of that in the future.
And just moving on to the Commonwealth Games, you must be excited to be wearing the green and gold again.
Yeah, it's always an honour to be named to play for your country and wearing the green and gold. I'm particularly excited about Com Games because it's, something that I haven't done before. I missed out on Delhi and performing and getting to play a part in a multi-sport championship I think will be really exciting. But yeah, I can't wait. I think we talked about it this morning and there's only a few more weeks to go, so it's creeping up pretty quickly.
And obviously when you are playing for Australia, the shooting combination that you have with Nat Medhurst has been quite well documented as being very strong. What's it done for your netball this year and that combination to be working with her more regularly week by week this year, Caitlin, with her being at fever?
Yeah, I think Nat coming over to fever this year has obviously been a positive. We've got to work together week in, week out. A lot of people don't actually realise it does take a long time to work and build strong combinations. You pretty much have to learn each other's game inside out. And although, Fever hasn't had the most successful season, it has given us a chance to work closely together this year. So, hopefully at Com Games, the experience we've had playing together over the last 12 months will really shine through and be able to help us out there on court.
Just sort of switching gears here, but your love of animals is quite well documented. Where does it come from, and do you have any pets of your own?
Yeah, I suppose I grew up on a sort of a small farm. My parents had 5 acres in Blytheford here in WA, so we had heaps of animals, pretty much every kind. Before doing netball, I did horse riding, so we had a couple of horses. We had sheep, chickens, birds, guinea pigs, rats. I've pretty much had every type of animal imaginable. At the moment, I've got 2 little bunnies who you can probably hear they're running amok at the moment, running around, chasing each other. And I just love them. I love animals. I just get so much joy out of them. And, I'm not crazy about kids or wanting to have babies. So for me, the bunnies are my little fur babies and my partner is very happy with that.
Now, your love of cupcakes is quite well documented, Caitlin. A little birdie told me, because I actually work part-time at Netball Australia as well, I'm not going to say who told me this, that when the Australian team management or Fever team management are booking accommodation for interstate or overseas trips, they try and make it as close to a cupcake shop or bakery as possible. Is this true?
No, absolutely false. I think it'd be the opposite. They'd try to be keeping me away from those type of things. But I actually haven't really indulged in a while. When I first started getting involved in and seeking out the best cupcakes, it was when I was a little bit younger and perhaps a little bit heavier. So I've kind of learned that I need to watch what I eat, and I'm a little bit on the healthier side these days. But no, definitely keeping me away from the cupcakes was a good thing.
But just before we leave the subject of cupcakes, do you have a particular favourite flavour or topping for cupcakes?
I like ones that have vanilla bases because I find chocolate is a little bit too rich for me. So anything lemon, I'm really keen on lemon curd at the moment, and passion fruit curd, just different flavours I find interesting.
Before we went on air, Kate, when you were telling me that you've got former Australian shooter Mark Caldo over there working with you for a couple of days at the moment, how are you finding that?
Yeah, really good. We're really lucky to have Marg over here in Perth to come take us for a couple of sessions. I realise it's hard, Australia, where we're all spread out and there's still a couple of shooters who are involved in finals. So, yeah, we're lucky to have her over here and teaching us, giving us a lot of experience before we head over to Com Games.
You're very active on social media. Do you use it as a channel to show off your Polaroid photography?
I haven't done any Polaroid photography lately. My camera, I've run out of little flash bulbs for it. They're really hard to find these days, so I've had to curb that a little bit. But I just love social media as a way of connecting with my fans. I just started a school program with Telstra which is targeted at cyberbullying. So, going out and meeting kids at different schools, and then being able to, chat to them and interact with them via social media, I find is really beneficial. And it's a fun way to interact with your fans.
If you could, Caitlin, could you please give us a plug for your Twitter handle and also your website too, which I must say is coming along nicely. I had a look myself the other day.
Thanks. So my website is just www.caitlinbassett.com.au, and I'm pretty sure my Twitter handle is at @CBassNetball. So, if you have a look at those, you can see what I get up to on a daily basis.
All right, Dan, and I recommend that the listener also checks out your website, as I've had a look at it too, and it's well worth a visit. Well, is there anything else you would like to add, Caitlin? Anything else you'd like to plug? Any of your hobbies or your favourite cupcake store in Perth?
Nope, all good.
All right, then. Thanks very much for joining us, Caitlin. Thanks for the chat, and hopefully onwards and upwards towards Glasgow, and I will hopefully get to chat with you when we see each other in person. It's been quite a while. I'm always floating around. I see you around, but I just haven't had a chance to chat with you before. But thanks very much for coming on today.
No worries. Thanks, guys.
You've been listening to the 3 Feet Radio Show with Ben Carbonaro and Luke Herbert. Tune in next time for more special guests and netball commentary exclusively on YouTube.